Police say not stopping for this stop sign could not only cost you a pricey ticket, but the consequences could be catastrophic. Beach coordinators say that if you see tracks like these, they can easily be mistaken for tire tracks, and there's probably a turtle nest close by. They also say that if you see a turtle at night, please keep your distance, don't shine light, and being quiet is key. As I learned today, parking at ILM can be very hard to find. As you can see, they placed cones near the edge of the parking lot so visitors can park temporarily in their short-term parking lots. The aquarium has put fans like this one next to some of their habitats. This allows the air to circulate, to cool and oxygenate the water. Residents in the community say the best part is they can walk out their doors, pick up fresh vegetables, and go right back inside. Council is expecting to make all of the necessary changes for less than $15,000, while they're expecting a grant to cover one more rapid flashing beacon like this one at Ocean Boulevard. It's that time again, time for back to school shopping, but filling up a shopping cart isn't cheap.
And pencils, a ton of pencils.
Parents and teachers know all too well how costly it can get.
I gotta see which one's cheapest because I'm broke.
Sarah Krzyzewski is a middle school teacher in Wilmington. Each year she spends from her own pocket to make sure her classroom is stocked.
Probably have to estimate anywhere between $500 and $1,000 a year. You gotta have rewards for our students. We want them to work for incentives. We want them to feel good about themselves, and that stuff's not on the school supply list.
Krzyzewski has been teaching special education for 8 years and believes some of the smallest details about a school supplies item could make or break the day for her kids.
We also like to make sure that it's the same routine. So I want all of my students to have the same idea. If I say go get your composition book, they know exactly what color composition, they know where they're going. If they're my first block, they're red. If they're my second block, they're blue, and they know this.
Krzyzewski says the key to back to school shopping and not breaking the bank is finding all the right deals.
I'm pretty sure that the 5 for $1 is cheaper than the other kind we got.
She says she will continue to always shop for items to set her kids up for success.
You know, if something happened over the summer and this student's struggling, it's fun to go and just have fresh stuff and new stuff and be able to provide for my students. Oh, positivity journal.
But just one trip alone is about $100.
See, I told you, between $75 and $100.
She says to know she makes a small impact is why she does it.
I want these students to know that I believe in them and that, you know, no matter what background they come from or whatever, they are still my students and they are loved and they are provided for everything that I can do, I'm gonna do.
Starting the year off right, one notebook and pencil at a time. In Wilmington, Ann Taylor, Spectrum News.
We're about to get some big waves, y'all.
Words Tim Hunter never thought he would be able to say. He has cerebral palsy, which means he can't move from his waist down.
It's a hard struggle, but I have family to get through it and my friends, and I lift weights and stuff like that.
Tim says he remembers watching people surf thinking how bad he wanted to have his moment on the water. Now with the Life Rolls On Foundation, he's getting that chance.
It's amazing when the waves hit you and when you go fast, it's amazing. Because, you know, regular people, they can surf on their legs. We got surf on our stomach. And, you know, we got handles to hold on to. And I'm pretty fast, but I don't like to brag about it.
18 years ago, Jesse Belair was in an accident and became a quadriplegic. It inspired him to found the Life Rolls On Foundation, but he never dreamt what it would become.
Our first event had like 10 athletes and 50 volunteers, and now we do 12 events around the country. Each of them have close to 100 athletes, 300 to 400 volunteers. So they're growing, people are stoked.
Belair says when he sees the athletes' reactions, it brings him back to his life-changing moment.
I know that it brings so much independence and freedom to these people that lost it, and so it just reminds me of those times back in the day when I first got injured, and it changed my life so much that that's why I started Life Rolls On.
As their motto goes, they will surf again, and today they did.
I say go big or go home.
In Carolina Beach, Ann Taylor, Spectrum News.
We try to stay gone all day long until, you know, we have to go there to sleep.
Amelia Bridges and her family, just one of many residents in Pender County displaced by Hurricane Florence. Right now, she and her 2 children and her 65-year-old mother are all living in a tent in their front yard. Bridges says she's been approved for a FEMA trailer, however, its arrival has been delayed. FEMA officials say it's because they live in a flood zone.
We don't have a date yet. We've been trying to survive for the last few weeks anyway. It's been like 7 weeks since the hurricane hit.
This is all of Amelia Bridges' belongings that were destroyed in Hurricane Florence. And this is where her FEMA trailer will go whenever it gets here. All of this going on in the background as Bridges is a full-time student and works part-time on the weekends. She's juggling it all and trying to be strong for her family.
If I break down, then yeah, they're going to start breaking down. So, I just have to, keep this. I guess they say you have to fake it to make it.
Bridges says the church right down the road has been a godsend helping her family through these hard times. And Florence also displaced some of the workers at the church themselves. Kathy Lee was one.
Every house here was submerged in water, and they lost everything they had with nowhere to store. So that's what we're doing here.
Lee remains thankful that her situation wasn't nearly as dire. But with the cold weather approaching, she hopes families like the Bridges get the home and the help they need. In Pender County, Ann Taylor, Spectrum News.
Come on, buddy.
The horses Jewel Horton has taken in to rehabilitate have come a long way since arriving at Horton's Horse Ranch 3 weeks ago, but they have a long way to go.
The first group we got there were 4, and it was called the Golden Girls, and they had body scores of anywhere from 1 to a 2. These 2 chestnut mares are part of the Golden Girls.
Horton says a typical horse body score is between 5 and 6, so the horses were in critical condition. Another surrender, Bruno, who came after the Golden Girls, had a body score of 1 and has laminitis, so he needs a little bit more hands-on care,
which is basically a very serious condition with his feet. And so he's having some secondary complications from that, because with that condition it requires really meticulous farrier care, and that was not something that he was getting. And so now we're trying to help him recover from that. And then the duct tape just kind of gives it more of a hard surface so that him walking on it doesn't actually tear the bandage apart.
The kind of care these horses need to get back to full health are costly and time-consuming. While Bruno needs a little more attention, the Golden Girls' recovery shouldn't be as long.
As far as getting him back to ideal weight, rideable condition, things like that, several months. The horses like Rita, that was a 1, you're talking 6 to 12 months. Even if you can bring them all the way back, there's sometimes these horses go so far, full rehabilitation is not possible.
She says she wants this to be a lesson to the public. Whether you can't take care of your animals or know someone that isn't, do something, reach out.
We have to be stewards for the creatures of this earth and for each other, and telling somebody that they're in trouble and they need help and then reaching out to get them help doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a champion for these guys.
Horton says if you're a knowledgeable horse owner and have a close working relationship with your veterinarian, you can contact them now to see about adoption for both Pip and Zippy. In Pender County, Ann Taylor, Spectrum News. I'm outside the 600 block of Owens Court in Wilmington, where the SBI is investigating an officer-involved shooting. Just before 7 p.m. Wednesday, the Wilmington Police Department responded to a shots-fired call. When officers got to the house, Wilmington police tell Spectrum News that a 62-year-old male came out with multiple weapons. Officers asked him a number of times to drop the weapons, and he didn't listen. 2 officers shot the man, and he died at the scene. We are also told that his wife was at the house with him. There are multiple ongoing investigations pertaining to this incident, and the 2 officers will be put on paid administrative leave pending the investigation results. We're working on getting the 911 calls, the suspect's name, and any additional information. For now, in Wilmington, Ann Taylor, Spectrum News.